middle class, you want the world to know. You want to celebrate. You're aspirational. You've got a vision of hope for the future. You're very confident about what's happening in the marketplace. And so you want to buy products, and you want to surround yourself with products that display this. But not only that, we start to see the move, their accommodation to better accommodation, hence the growth in the construction industry. They tend to upgrade. They tend to wider travel, hence the growth in outbound tourism. And they tend to buy products that are far more expensive than what they've normally bought before. And I'll touch on premiumisation later. Not only are we seeing growth in the middle class, but the confidence in the Philippines continues to be buoyant. And in fact, in our latest survey, that has only just come out, the Philippines has regained the #1 spot in Southeast Asia as the most confident economy according to consumers. This consumer confidence gives consumers the confidence to go out and spend. It gives them the confidence that their job is secure. It gives them the confidence that they can put their children through university without any fear of losing their job and not finding the funds to put their kids through college. It gives them the confidence to invest and buy property. And it gives them the confidence to invest in the economy. And as you can see by the data, the Philippines has been very consistent with this confidence level over the last number of quarters. And our forecast and our predictions are for that to continue over the next number of quarters. I'd like to change tack now and talk a little bit about what we're seeing in change in shopping behaviour. I think you'll see an underlying theme right through my presentation today, that most of what I'm speaking about is interrelated. One of these 5 areas that I'm talking to you about doesn't stand alone. They're all inextricably linked. So as we see our market moving to a more affluent market, our shoppers are becoming more discerning, more educated, and more savvy. Price is not only the determinator of whether I'll invest or buy in a product. In fact, we now see quality as being the #1 reason why someone will buy something. And the reason for that is because the average income and the middle class is growing, that people want to buy more quality products. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that you now need to start looking at your product optimization in your outlets, the services that you provide, to ensure that you're giving this new consumer the choice to buy more premium style products and higher quality products. We talk about them being more educated, and I'll talk about the digitally connected consumer shortly, but it's so much easier today than ever to find information about products and services. Via either the internet or mobile phone, I can quickly find a location of an outlet. I can find a review. Is that outlet worth going to? Or is that hotel worth staying at? I can quickly do price comparisons using a number of different applications or websites. And I can make my choice of what product I want, how much I'm prepared to pay for it, which outlet I will buy it from without leaving my home. Or I can do it in the car on the way to the shopping centre. You need to be aware of this. Why? Because if you're not playing and communicating in that space, you may not enter the consideration set of these educated consumers. Consumers today are becoming very more conscious of time. And even though in the Philippines, malling is a sport, and if there was an Olympic Games, the Philippines would win the gold, no two ways about that. But even our mall rats are more discerning in the stores that they're going to and the information that they have. Walk around an SM mall and have a look at the kids with their mobile phones. Have a look at what they're doing on those mobile phones, and I will guarantee that they're sourcing information about outlets, products, services, price, so much so that they will even use peer influence to determine a brand. A number of weeks ago I was in Las Vegas on a conference, and the president of Sam's Club, which is a very big discount store was presenting at a Nielsen conference, and he was talking about following or stalking a couple of consumers around his outlet who were looking to buy a flat screen TV. And these consumers spent about half an hour walking around the flat screen TV display, looking at the different brands, engaging with the customer assistants, trying to determine which flat screen brand they would buy. When he thought they were about to make a purchase, they disappeared. And they left for about 40 minutes. And when they came back, they had a flat screen TV in the trolley, and they were proceeding to go to the checkout to pay for the TV. And the president of Sam's Club intercepted them, introduced himself and said, "Excuse me, I'm just really interested in your buying behaviour, and I'm really interested in why did you choose the TV that you chose?" And the gentleman quickly responded, "Well, I went onto Facebook and I put a message out on my Facebook page. Had anyone heard of these two brands? One was a premium, well-known convenience outlet." We will continue to talk a lot about the increased affluency and what that means. But here's just a few figures. Holidays and vacations. In the last quarter of 2012, 28% of people said they'd taken a holiday and vacation compared to 21% in the prior year. Out-of-home entertainment on the rise. Communication on the rise. Transportation on the rise. Restaurants and hotels up 10% on the prior year. Recreation and cultural activities up 10%. Health up 11%. These are all the types of consumer categories that discretionary income tends to be spent on. And this is what we're talking about here, discretionary income. This is after income has met rent and electricity, food. This is the money that consumers have left over. And as society becomes more affluent, there's more discretionary income. Now, 60-odd% are saving money, which is always a very good sign for an economy that people are putting a little bit away, but they're also spending. And as we heard earlier this morning, we are a very consumption-led marketplace. And this just proves that these categories are the ones that consumers are more likely to consume in. So let me talk a little bit about the connected consumer. This is a little bit of an area that I'm quite passionate about. And I see great hope in the Philippines for some really exciting work to be done in this internet, mobile, digital space. 56% of urban Pinoys have accessed the internet in the past month. I've been in the Philippines 15 months, and I can tell you when I first arrived that number was half. So in the space of a very short period of time, we are seeing internet access being made available to the average Filipino at a great rate of knots. It's not just the ABs or the higher affluent end of the market. 67% are actually DE. And this becomes quite important when you start to think about using the internet or mobile as a communication means to communicate your wares, your offers, your discounts, your services to your consumers. 67% of DE. DE still makes up the biggest part of the Philippine community. So the internet is no longer the playground of the affluent. They still play there, but if you're a franchisee that has a total national reach and you want all consumers, then the digitally connected consumer could be the consumer that you're looking for. What we've also seen is an increase in the number of homes that now have access to the internet. The internet cafe is becoming less and less of importance when it comes to internet connectivity. 3G and mobile phones is growing at a rapid rate, but so is accessing the internet at home. There's now 23% of Filipino homes connected. Why is this important? Right around the globe, we've been doing studies around the penetration of internet for a number of years. And what I can tell you is that when homes put internet capabilities into their homes, we see people go online more often. We see them stay online longer. We see them visit a greater number of websites, and we see them behave in a different way in as much as they upload and download multimedia. Why is this important? Well, if I'm spending more time in home, on the internet, whether it be through tablet, mobile phone, laptop, desktop PC.